Are you going to a wedding this year and have no idea what to do with your hair? Don't worry, I'm here to share something with you today. My name is Faye. I'm a professional wedding hairstylist. I have 16 years. I've won many awards for my hairstyling. I must admit, I'm lazy when it comes to doing my own hair for weddings, so this is my go-to that's quick and easy to create and looks absolutely amazing every time. So just for reference, I have fine, medium length hair right now. I've done this hairstyle on longer hair and also when I've had it really short too, and it looks good on all lengths. This for me, with fine hair, it's super fast to create and it does last all night, which is key. So I've got myself a 1-inch iron heated up right now, which I find 1 inch is like, you know, it's gonna last in the majority of hair types. Anything bigger on fine hair, which tends to not hold curls, it just falls out really fast. So I find the 1 inch is like, it looks nice and soft and modern, not too curly, not too loose, and it lasts all night. So I find with fine hair, it gets greasy really fast, as you know. Washing and drying the night before is key because you do want it to be a little bit dirty and not freshly washed, fluffy, or a little bit damp. It will not hold a curl. So wash and dry night before, and if you need to, you can use a little bit of dry shampoo just to give it a little bit of grit and freshen it up a little bit since you are wearing it down and not up and you don't want it to be greasy. So this one's from Design Me. I love that they have this in brunette and blonde, which just means that, you know, the color doesn't show up on my darker hair, doesn't show up white, which the blonde one would. So I'm just going to go through the roots and just spray in a little bit just to freshen it up, and it does, like I said, give it a little bit of grit, which helps a lot with volume. Perfect. So now my hair is just a little fresher than it was before. I'm just going to divide it into two, and it doesn't need to be anything special. I'm just going to twirl it around and pin it on the top of my head to get it out of the way, and using a little clip. I got a crocodile clip here, clipping the top away so that I can quickly and easily curl the bottom. So divide it into two and pull it to the front. That's the easiest way to kind of see what you're working with, and then you don't have to be an octopus trying to get back there. So the wonderful thing about fine hair is that it curls really fast. So the fact that I'm lazy with my hair, I really have no excuse because it takes me 10 minutes to do my hair. So I'm going to use this, although it has a clamp on it, I'm going to use it like a wand, and I'm going to wand curl all of my hair away from my face to begin with. So I'm wrapping my hair away from my face, and you want to hold the iron on for as long as it takes to feel the heat coming through the hair. So you'll want to use your finger a little bit just to kind of touch and see if it's hot, and when it's nice and hot, you can let it go. Don't let it go before that. If you have thicker hair, it's going to take longer than if you have thinner hair. So if you have really fine hair, you might find you only need 5 seconds. And if you have super thick hair, you might find that it, you know, you might need to hold it on for 20 seconds. Be careful not to burn yourself. And of course, the more hair that you're taking, the longer that you'll need to hold the iron on for in order for the heat to go through. Okay, gonna do the same to the other side, but curling away from the face again. So putting my iron under my hair and wrapping it backwards. You can even kind of like twist it to the top a little bit more. And so I'm generally like holding it vertical. It's gonna make a nice, soft, modern wave. I really needed to go somewhere today. I am going for happy hour with Joanna. At least I'll look nice for that. Okay, and so make sure to leave them in ringlets. I find when I'm doing lessons, because I teach a lot of personal use makeup and hair lessons, I find people want to like run their fingers through it straight away. Make sure to leave it in its ringlet. If it cools down in that ringlet, it's going to last longer. And also leaving it in its ringlet makes it so much easier for you to find the straight hair. I kind of like this lounge music. And so temperature on the iron, I always crank it to the top. If you have like bleached hair or like, you know, a really bright color or something that you don't want to ruin with the heat, you might want to use a lower heat setting on the iron, but I always have mine on the top. And now you want to figure out where your parting is going to go. So I know the trend is center part, but I have this calic that just makes it so that my hair, it just doesn't look good in a center part. So I'm going to do it just off center and straighten up my parting a little bit with a tail comb. You can either do it straight or zigzag, but having a nice neat parting just looks so much more professional if you ask me. I love side part. So always brushing your hair through. And so now I'm working with the top layer. I'm going to use slightly thinner sections because I want more detail. On the underneath, you can kind of get away with just having like a little bit of a effortless wave. It will also help to keep the length on medium length hair to have it a little bit softer, but on the top we want it to be a little bit tighter. So smaller sections and still wrapping away from the face. And honestly, once we've done this, you can do anything that you want. You can wear it all down, you could pin it into an updo, like a nice textured updo, or you can do what I'm gonna do, which is just pinning up a little bit on the side. It's kind of like a nice in the middle. It looks like you've made more of an effort than just curling your hair, a little bit more fancy, a little bit more formal. It really doesn't take much effort, and you can use a variety of clips to pin up the side to kind of like jazz it up and match it with your outfit, which I was going to bring a clip today and I totally forgot. I remembered on the way here. I really have no excuse not to do my hair really, but I never do. If you're enjoying this video, please subscribe. So when you think you're done, leave the iron on in case you need to touch anything up. I like to then go in with a little bit of texture spray to begin with. Again, it's just going to give it a little bit of volume and bounce to that fine flat hair. So Puff Me Dry Texture Spray from Design Me, another one that I absolutely love. So I'm just going to go from the underneath, kind of like what I did with the dry shampoo. It's just going to give it a little bit of air. And you can just kind of start to break up those curls a little bit. And then once you've done that and you've got the air, you can then kind of take your fingers and just break them up a little bit, and also start looking for what you might need to add a little extra curl into. It actually turned out so curly. Yeah, like there's always a little bit that you have to like finesse. Usually the front. Let me just finesse the front a little bit here. Or if something looks flat, you can just add in like a little extra. You know, just take a few little small pieces on the top just for a little extra dimension. So something that fine hair folk obviously have to deal with a lot is flat, limp hair. A little bit of back comb goes a long way. Obviously that Texas Queen look is not really in at the moment. I mean, at least in Vancouver, it's not. But I want a little bit of a root lift that honestly, for me, I'm not gonna get it unless I do a little bit of a back comb. So I'm taking my tail comb and small sections that line up with my parting, and I'm just holding my hair high to the sky, and I'm just giving it a little bit of a back comb by brushing up and down, and I'm making sure not to go on the top. It's not going to stay like that, but you can see the volume that I've already got. So I'm just going to do that for a few sections here, really making sure to press the back combing to the scalp so that it actually lasts. And I'm mostly going to do this on this side, a little bit on this side too, but I am going to pin this back. But yeah, it just gives it a little bit of a root lift. So very sparingly, I'm going to use a little bit of the Olaplex bonding oil just to kind of smooth and take away some of the frizziness. So just a small amount in my palms, and I'm just going to kind of like run it through the ends. It kind of helps to just give it a little bit of gloss without giving grease, which is really important with. So now I just want to pin up a little piece of hair, and it looks the nicest with some sort of clip. I keep a little collection of clips at home that pair nicely with a variety of outfits. You can also do it with a bobby pin if you have nothing else. So I'll show you that today because it's the hardest. And so the elevation that you pin it, you could pin it higher if you want to be more exposed on the side of the face like that. You could just pin it a little bit lower and looser. You know, you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do. The easiest thing to do is to take the hair and twist it into a little bit of a the easiest thing to do is twist it and then kind of loosen it a little bit. And so what you'll want to do is take the bobby pin, open it up, and you're going to slide it forward into that almost roll that you've just created. So open the bobby pin and slide it forward and into the roll to hide the bobby pin inside here. You might need to do two to crisscross to make sure that they're both hidden. Okay, so this is my second one that I'm crisscrossing here. So I'm just gonna finish this hairstyle with the Design Me Hold Me hairspray. It's a nice lightweight hairspray that's, it's not gonna make it crispy, but I must admit with my hair type being fine and not holding curls, more hairspray is better. And I do it from the underneath just to keep that volume going. And then of course the front, you really want to make sure to get that all secure. But yeah, slightly crispy on finer hair is better than it falling out. I think people don't use enough product if you ask me. But you can see how just tucking that little piece back here just kind of gives a little bit of that wedding vibe. while still looking like, you know, casual enough that you're not trying to outshine the bride. What do you guys think of this look? Leave me comments, tell me what you think. I hope this tutorial was useful to you guys, and if you want to know how to do this makeup, I have another video for that as well. You can check that out. This is the perfect, easy to create look for any wedding, casual or fancy, and pretty easy to create. If you have any questions, comments, leave them for me below. I'm always happy to help, and please enjoy the wedding.